I feel like this is a topic we always have to keep talking about, you know. No matter how many times you talk about it, it does not hurt to talk about it another time, because we need to normalize conversations about mental health, especially in the times we live in now, okay? We all know somebody who's been affected. We know somebody who's battling depression. You're probably also battling depression. We know somebody who's unfortunately committed suicide. We know somebody who's going through something difficult and they don't know what to do about it. We have even been affected by friends of ours who've done something so drastic, and now you're feeling guilty because you're thinking, wow, I should have known, you know. I'm always with you all the time. How comes I didn't know you know, you were going through all of this, and now you're berating yourself and you're feeling bad about it. But at the end of the day, we just need to normalize conversations about mental health.
Absolutely.
And number one on that is being kind to everybody. We have said it again before, and we're going to say it again as many times as we can. Be kind. It does not cost you anything to be kind. It does not cost you anything to say please. It does not cost you anything to just have a sane conversation and not raise your voice and not do the most. We've even seen like people on social media who just attack somebody because of the anonymity factor, because you know this person can't pull up on you, and somebody just post a picture celebrating themselves. They were looking their best. It was the best day of their lives, and they've posted a picture on social media to share that joy, to put it out there. It probably took them a lot of courage. They probably thought about it like 2 days before posting that picture. And now they finally posted that picture. And then you, for whatever reason, you woke up on the wrong side of the bed. You've gone and commented, haha, elephant. You know, for no reason. This person has not harmed you. They've not abused you. They've done nothing to you. But because you were just being a troll, haha, where's your husband? You don't know what she's going through. And this is very prevalent on social media. We are all covered. You know, you can't say that to a person in real life.
True.
You can't walk up to a person and say, hi, you look like a chimpanzee. You really can't say that. But because of social media, you feel you have this power to say that. But just be kind. You don't know what it took for them to post the picture. You don't know what they're going through. Just be kind.
I think another very important one is constantly checking up on people. By constantly, I don't mean like suffocate them with hi, morning, noon, and dinner.
Wow.
You're not a meal, okay? You need to be consistent, though. It needs to be consistent. You need to check up on your friends. You need to check up on people who you think matter or are important in your life. Why? Because sometimes it just takes that one, are you okay? To let someone bubble over and eventually spill like a canary. Like sometimes they're just going through the toughest day and they just need that one person to ask them, hey, are you okay? Yeah. And we don't mean like, you know, there's a hey, are you okay? That's just like, even the tone of it is just, yeah, I'm okay. It's how you say it makes me want to just respond with a shallow response.
Yeah.
However, whenever you are intentional about asking someone how the day has been, like you're like, yeah, what's up? You have the conversation and then like, by the way, how are you doing? It just sounds earnest and it makes you want to actually be honest. If you asked me in that tone, like, hey, actually, how are you doing? It's inviting. It's like, all right, maybe I'll just tell you this one thing that's bugging me. And then that one thing that's bugging you ends up being a whole rant about something that is going on in your life. So please check up on people. Check up on your friends. Check up on your loved ones. Check up on even a random person. Sometimes it's just, you look at someone in Tao and they're just looking the way they're looking. You're like, are you okay? They will tell you.
Yeah.
They will tell you.
And another thing is normalize going to therapy, okay? And when I say go to therapy, I don't mean shopping therapy, at retail therapy. That is a lie. We also saw over the weekend a very funny video by Terence, and I think it was Kabiwa Jesus, talking about, their wives had like walked into one store and then they're just like seated there. Seated there talking about how, I don't know, like one bra costs 7,000. You know, we're not talking about retail therapy. Yes, it feels good, but you also need to talk to a professional. Some of us are just walking around with unhealed traumas, and we're just inflicting pain on other people, because hurt people do hurt people.
True, true.
You might think you're okay, but you're always snapping at someone. You're always being cruel to your child. You're always being cruel to somebody. Why? Because you have so many unresolved issues about you. You may think you're okay, but you're really not. So just normalize going to therapy. It's frowned upon, especially in African settings, for whatever reason, because you're saying, why am I paying so much money to go and talk to somebody about my problems? First of all, it's a problem, so, talked about, is half solved. You feel decompress. You're like, yeah, good, that was nice. And then after that, this person is qualified. They can actually identify some of the things happening in your life. Number 3, they won't tell anyone. Okay, you won't like tell them somebody, it ends up in a blog. So just go to therapy.
It's very important, especially to find professional. We mean professional, because some people are just quacks in offices. Okay, so be careful about who you're telling issues to, because you don't want to start being misdiagnosed for no reason.
Exactly.
Moving on, we have another very important one, which is it's okay to have mental health issues. Now, let me put you in this scenario where you kind of understand how people end up in spaces or states which can be a little bit of an issue in general. How much time do you spend around people? Turi, in a day, how much time do you spend around people?
Very few hours.
All right. Now, during these hours when you're not around people, what are you usually doing?
It's my thoughts.
You're in your head, right? You're analyzing, deciphering, breaking down, all of that. You are in your head almost all of the time. And trust me when I tell you, once you start to go to a dark space, one dark thought can lead to a shift of mood completely in your day. True or false?
True.
So let's just start thinking about it from those perspectives. We are constantly in our minds. We are constantly within our thoughts. We are constantly rummaging through our brains, and that can lead to so many issues. If you're sad about one thing, the sadness continues for more than a day. It becomes a normal thing where you're always sad. You know what that's called? That's called depression. Then you're depressed, and then you start to feel like you're messing up things. Once you start getting stressed out and depressed, you start getting into a space where you're very finicky, you're very clumsy, you're not fully present mentally, therefore you're constantly making mistakes. These many mistakes added up, what does that lead to? Oh my God, am I going to mess up today? Oh my God, am I going to mess up today? Anxiety. What does anxiety prolonged cause? It causes you to start having now issues like, by there you're starting to respond to some traumas that happened in the past. You did something so bad, now you're recovering from that. What's that called? PTSD. So all I'm saying is mental health issues are normal. You, as any human, old, young, baby, not baby, you see children sitting down in their thoughts and you're like, what the heck? What are you thinking about? you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone is lost in their thoughts. So you're not special, you're not weird, it's not demons, you are just stressed.
Yes. And another thing is holding a safe space for somebody, because especially in the times we're in, somebody will come to you with an issue, and they maybe thought, this is my friend, I can talk to her about something. Maybe this is eating me up, let me just tell somebody, let me just tell someone. And unfortunately, you'll probably hear about this story somewhere else, and now you're thinking, this is the person I came to help to. I approached you and I bore my soul to you, and I told you everything, the good, the bad, the horrible, everything. And then she turned around and told everybody else. And now, you feel like all of a sudden you're under surveillance. How many people know now? Who did she tell? Is everybody talking up behind my back? And it just worsens the situation. So the thing is, if somebody comes to you with a problem, listen, okay? Don't invalidate them. Don't start comparing the situation. Even if it's something as small as, you know what, my boyfriend did this and this and this. Don't be like, hey, heri wewe uko na boyfriend. Immediately, you've just invalidated everything she's going through by comparing it to another situation. You had no reason to do that. All she wanted was someone to listen. She came to you, told you everything. Just listen. If you can help, well and good. If you can refer them to a mental, health facility, well and good. I even recently posted over 30 30 government facilities offering free mental health services. I'll repost it again this evening on my stories, so be on the lookout for that. Free mental health services. So if you don't trust the people around you, or maybe you feel embarrassed about a situation, go to these places. Figure out, am I going to work on myself, or am I going to wallow in this situation and not make things better? Just talk to somebody.
Yeah, and something else that I learned over the weekend that I thought was actually very interesting was, in these situations where you're constantly trying to tell someone communication, 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 and how much you value it, that pretty much is you being half wait, I almost said half-assed. You not putting in the effort of getting to know this person. You're depending on them to give you information about themselves, therefore divulging all that they are to you. But human beings are deep. We're different. You don't always communicate everything with words. So let's also start to be careful about, combining issues. You have trust issues, therefore you need transparency and communication. But then are you using that as a clutch not to actually get to know someone? Let's try and be more open to learning about people actively and inactively. And this is how you end up helping people around you. Because simply because you have a partner, simply because you have a friend, sometimes if you're getting to that space where you're like, actually, I don't think I can tell him, I don't think I can tell her this, that's a state of you and your brain telling you that by the way, I don't know them well enough in order for me to trust them with this particular issue. So when you're communicating with someone, yes, it's good to have open lines of communication and keeping those open lines consistently open, but also learn that that shouldn't be your excuse not to learn about someone when they're not telling you about themselves.
Exactly.
There's a lot that's below the surface and a lot that the mouth can't bring out. But if you learn, if you see them, you'll see patterns. You will see, you will learn this person, and those are the things that will also help you to understand, by there is something is wrong here. It doesn't always have to be, by there I'm not feeling well, Turi. Sometimes I'll just see, Turi will see me walking funny, being funny, simply because she has observed me over time, and now she's learned, oh yeah, this is not Kathomi. Kathomi is usually like this. Therefore, if she's not like that, something is going on. And then find a way to inquire that is, again,
is everything okay?
Yes, and it's personal to me because not everyone responds to, are you okay?
Exactly.
But if you know me, then you will be able to know how you can approach me, how you can be able to break it down and get to the root issue. That's just something I learned over the weekend.
Yes, and I hope we helped you. That was such a heavy topic, okay? I really do hope we helped you. As always, you can always tune in tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. My name is Turi Faye, and this is Let's Talk.
My name is Kathomi, and as we've said, we are open lines of communication. Catch us on our DMs. We will help you where we can. Until tomorrow, Kathomi, bye.